Hello there and welcome to another Nick's Amateur Watch Reviews by myself, Nick Beck. Today I bring you my new Casio Edifice Sapphire chronograph. I purchased this from a company called Watch O. Very good service. Ordered it on Wednesday at 3 o'clock in the afternoon and it was with me courtesy of Royal Mail by 11 o'clock the next morning. Free postage and very well packaged. Perfect inside, all bells and whistles, all labels, stickers, and as you can see from around it, all the warranty cards, the instructions booklets, and just about everything you need for your new watch. Like I say, going back to Watch O, it was actually on their website for 140 with a percentage off, which brought it down to 110. From most high street jewellers, I think you can pick this up for 150 to £200. I think actually when I go into the review you may see it seems to be pretty well worth it to me. Anyway, back to the watch. So the watch is all stainless steel with a stainless steel bracelet, stainless steel bezel and stainless steel case. You have a carbon dial. I think it's carbon effect. I'm not sure if it's actually carbon. You have placed indices which are kind of bright chrome, which make the watch very legible and very easy to read, even in low lights. You have 3 dials on the face, the standard stopwatch, and on the right hand side just here, a 24-hour clock, and your date window just there. As I say, the glass is sapphire crystal and it makes it very clear, very easy to read, and of course, as you know, very durable and scratch resistant. Everything else about the watch I will go through now. So, taking it off the pillow, let me just first of all give you the model number, and there we go, it's EFS-S520CDB-1AUEF. And like I say, this comes from Watch O, an online shop, and it costs £110, which I think is very good value for such a nice watch. So, onto the watch itself. So, as you can see, sapphire actually on the dial, and you can see that lovely carbon effect dial behind. And in the right lights, it's difficult to catch it in this sort of daylight here, but in the right light it has a really nice kind of 3D effect, and I think it's very complemented by the subtle red detailing of the second hand and a couple of hours and minutes on the stopwatch there, raised indices and a kind of raised outer bezel inside the crystal there. So it gives it a real depth, and it's really nice. It's just a really nice watch. So, as you can see, it has the bracelets actually built into the shoulders of the watch. It's all brushed all the way round. It's a lovely bracelet. You've got the clasp with the Casio Edifice logo and a little E logo on the bottom. Like I say, the bracelet is all brushed. Then looking at the side of the watch there, let's get that in focus. There we go. Half brushed and half polished. So switching around to the crown. Again, the Casio Edifice logo is actually on the crown, and you have the stopwatch press buttons there. So back to the dial and face. The hands are standard sword hands with fairly good luminosity. They seem to work very well in the dark. Haven't charged them very much at the moment. Unfortunately, we haven't had a lot of sunlight, but it's they seem to be pretty good. So as you can see, I think, and I'm not sure about this, but there seems to be a little kind of purple glint in the crystal when it's caught in certain light. So I think it may have an AR coating. I'm not really sure about that, and I don't really think it's necessary on this watch because it just seems to be very legible and very clear anyway. So, going to the back of the watch, open the clasp. It's a standard 3-fold clasp with buttons on the side, nice polished chrome on the inside, And I haven't actually taken the labels off yet, but it's only three days old. So there we are, Casio Edifice, sapphire crystal, and it's solar powered, so you never need a battery. It's water resistant to 100 meters, and it's pretty durable. It's actually, for the size of the watch, I think it's approximately 45 across. It's quite thin, as you can see. Let me just turn it to the side. Quite thin, but it feels really substantial. It's actually quite heavy, heavier than it looks, I think, is the best way to put it. It's not got the same weight as an automatic, where it's really kind of chunky and heavy. It's actually quite an elegant watch, but it has a really nice, solid quality feel about it. But I mean, as you know from my previous reviews, I won't buy a watch that I don't think feels good, and I think most people that buy watches, and most people are into watches, will understand that completely. It's kind of about the feel and picking it up and actually holding it in your hand, and you know that's when you know it's the right watch for you. The bracelet is very, very soft, very sort of, how can I put it, very soft on the wrist. It's kind of silky almost. And if I pop it on my wrist, when I actually received the watch, there we go, there's a good wrist shot there. When I actually received the watch, the bracelet was absolutely enormous. It seemed to have, I think it had 9 links on one side and 8 on the other. I had 3 links taken out, and it fits me absolutely lovely. It's still got the minor adjustments on the case, on the case, on the bracelet clasp, and I think they're half links. So they seem to have catered very well for people with big or small wrists on this watch. Like I say, it's got a really nice kind of look on the wrist. It's a very, if I can just get a better angle for you there, I think it would look very smart with a suit and, you know, a casual sort of jeans and t-shirt day. So it's kind of a bit of an all-rounder. Like I say, for £110, I think you'd probably find it hard to beat. So that's the Casio Edifice Solar, with, again, carbon dial and sapphire glass and black ion coated bezel, which is lovely. It gives it a really nice kind of sheen, but it's not too bright. It almost actually looks ceramic, but I wouldn't imagine for a second it is. But it's, like I say, very, very nice watch. I think I'm not going to say disappointment, because I recognise they seem to spend the money on the watch rather than the box. But my only disappointment, if you like, is Casio's box. It's this little cardboard box with a little pillow. It feels like a box that something of £20 or £30 should have, and I think, you know, spend a little bit more time, Casio, and just, you know, let's have a little bit nicer box, give it a little bit more of a luxury feel, because certainly the product itself, when you take it out of the box, has a real luxury feel. I mean, as you know from my previous reviews, I have had absolutely every watch. I've had from expensive down to very, very cheap, and this doesn't feel like a cheap watch at all. This feels very kind of mid-range. I have a Longines Hydra Conquest, and if somebody put them both in my hand and I was blindfolded, it would take me a couple of minutes to determine which one was which, because I mean, I would certainly know straight away because of obviously the buttons, but if it didn't have buttons, it's got the same feel. It's really nice quality, and the bracelet's really smooth. It feels lovely on my wrist. I kind of almost forget I'm wearing it. I've only had it a couple of days, and I'm very, very impressed with it. So thank you for your latest subscriptions and your views. I'm kind of pushing up to 10,000 now, which is fantastic. I didn't think I'd get 100 views, so I'm very impressed and very happy with that. So keep subscribing, keep viewing, and enjoy your watches as I do. See you again. Bye for now.